drive it into the ground. And I mean the ground. I'm talking about the engine stopped working, the transmission blew out, and the wheels fall off like they do on the Flintstones. Into the ground. Welcome back to CWM University, where we learn together. And today we're gonna learn about what I wish I knew before I purchased my first car. Let me ask you something. Why is it the second people get a little bit of money, they run out and buy a car? Not invested, not save, not pay off debt. Nope. Running straight to the dealership to buy a car. The fastest depreciating asset that you can buy other than a banana. And then 3 months later, you looking out the window, where my car at? Yup, the repo man got that car. And why? Because we really couldn't afford it. So let's not do that to ourselves. Today, I'm gonna show you how to buy a car the smart way. So you don't end up stressed, broke, and explain it to your friends why you asking them for rides again. Come on, let's get started. If you have a paid off car, listen, turn your volume up, turn it up some more, and listen very carefully. Drive it into the ground. And I mean the ground. I'm talking about the engine stopped working, the transmission blew out, and the wheels fall off like they do on the Flintstones. Into the ground. Then, and only then, talk about replacing your car. Because you know what's better than a new car? No car payment. Can't get better than that. And I'm talking from experience. That feeling you get when you walk outside and your car's still there because the repo man is not looking for your car. Beautiful, peaceful, stress-free. And if you bored with your car, upgrade it. When I got my Jeep paid off, you know what I did when I got bored with my Jeep? I put in a little screen, a little touch screen, so I can play my little Apple Music. You could add Bluetooth to your car. And they let you do a little backup camera if you want a backup camera. Boom, just like that. You feel like you have a newer car. And what? They cost you maybe a couple $100, $300. And if you're still bored after that, go rent a car. Drive it around for a week and take them people their car back. Hopefully by then, you get it out your system and you drive that paid off car. So there's two different types of assets. You have depreciating and non-depreciating. Non-depreciating is like if you bought land. Depreciating, a car falls in that category. A car is a depreciating asset, which means the moment you buy it and drive it off that lot, it automatically starts losing value. So ask yourself, am I buying this car because I need it or because I want to impress some people? Be honest. Impressing people gets you nowhere because I'm going to tell you what those people are not going to do. They're not going to help you pay the note. They're not going to put gas in your gas tank. And right now, gas is ridiculous. They're not going to pay for your oil change. And when those tires start balding, they're not going to pay for your new tires. So think about that. Why exactly do you feel that you need a new car? Now, this is the craziest thing I ever heard. And it could just be me and how I feel about stuff. But I heard that if you buy a new car, then you don't have to worry about maintenance. That's a lie. New cars break just like old cars do. And guess what? Usually the newer the car, the more expensive it is to fix it. Unless you got like one of those throwback box Chevys and they don't make the parts anymore. So then I have a new car and I need to fix that new car and I got a car payment. Nah, I'm good. If I could talk to my younger self and be like, come here for a minute, let me holler at you. I would tell myself, you have a car paid off. I had a paid off car. I got a new job and I thought, ding, 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 more money, I should buy a new car. And what I should have said, you got a paid off car, ding, 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 more money, invest it, save it. And we'll talk about where to invest that money a little later in this video. So if I had a paid off car and maybe I was running into the ground, what would I do next? The next thing I would do is try to save enough money to buy my car in cash. Buy something that I could afford, something that I could afford to take care of, because people go buy BMWs and know that the oil change cost an arm and a leg. I'll then stack my money and then upgrade my car later. when I paid my Jeep off and I rode it around for a long, long time and it started acting crazy, you know what I did? I started saving up some money and I bought my next car in cash. Was it a brand new car? No, but it was a reliable car and it got me from A to B and it had a little upgrades. But I didn't have a car note. I no longer have a car note. Thank God. Say you don't have enough cash to buy a car, but you need a different car. First thing you want to do is look up what type of car you want. If you find a car that you like, check out the VIN number, look up the history, look up its Carfax, because you don't want to fall in love with a car that's been in 5,000 accidents and they just fixed it. You want to know the history of the car that you're buying, especially if it's used. And then if you're actually walking into a dealership and you decide to finance that car because you're going to have a car payment, make sure you check on the interest rates. The dealership is going to tell you, we got the best interest rates. Finance your car through us. Please. Check your bank, check their credit union, check anybody else who finance a car to see what your best interest rate can be. And if that dealership is not willing to let you check those other places for a lower interest rate, you need to walk away. There's more than one dealership. You can find that car somewhere else. Because even 1 to 2% difference in the interest rate could save you thousands of dollars over the length of the loan. And another thing you want to consider is when they try to give you those extended warranties. When you buy a car from a dealership, it should come with a warranty. But they'll try to talk you into those extended warranties. Been there, done that. Read those warranties. I had a warranty on my Jeep. And baby, when something happened to the Jeep and I wanted to go get it fixed, they said, oh no, it don't cover that. It covers this, but not that. And every time something was wrong with my vehicle, the warranty didn't cover it. I could have took that $2,500 and put it in my savings account and been making money on it. Except I bought an extended warranty that was basically useless. So be careful. Read through the fine print. Make them explain it to you. What does it cover? Because they'll try to talk you into it. Been there. They talked me into it and I wasted a whole bunch of money. I think I need to go buy a car, right? But how do I know if I can actually afford said car? So let's do some quick math. Say the car costs $60,000 and you're going to get your loan over 60 months, which is over 5 years, which is usually typical, but now they be wilding out. They try to let people finance cars for 84 months, 96. It's a little crazy. But we're just gonna do like the norm, okay? So $60,000 divided by 60 months. How much would that be for a car note per month? Yes, roughly $1,000. Now be honest with yourself. Can you afford to pay all your bills plus $1,000 a month on a car note every month consecutively without feeling like you're strangling? Can you? That's something to consider. Do my little research on Google, because y'all know Google free, right? I Googled car loan calculator. So I'm gonna go through that with you and show you some cool things that you can figure out about a car before you try to go purchase it and see if that's gonna be in your budget and if you can afford it. Okay, so we're gonna go to Google and we're gonna type in car loan calculator. And I'm gonna go to the one for Nerd Wallet. They have plenty on here. You can just do car loan calculator, period, and some will pop up. So I'm gonna go to the one for Nerd Wallet. So once you go to Nerd Wallet, you can see here on the left side, it says loan details. It says price of vehicle. So we're gonna put back that $60,000. $60,000 for our price of our vehicle. Down payment, it's recommending I need to pay $4,000 down. I don't have $4,000 to put down, so I'm gonna put $2,000. I'm gonna put $2,000 down. It says the interest rate is 5%. That would be great. But we're gonna go a little high. We're gonna say that the interest rate is 25%. And then we're gonna say for how long it's gonna take us to pay it off, we're gonna say 60 months, which is 5 years. So then it says we're gonna start it May 2026. And then we don't have a car to trade in because our car, we done ran it to the ground. And we don't owe anything on it because it was paid off, but we ran it to the ground. So then we can look up here to the right side and it's gonna show us our monthly payment, $1,702.38. Jeez, that's the mortgage. And then it tells you how much interest you will pay over the loan. So if the price of the vehicle was $60,000, I put $2,000 down. That means I'm financing $58,000. Okay. The interest I'm going to pay on this loan is $44,142.61. Now, I know the interest rate I picked was super high, but if you got bad credit, it's going to be very high. And then, so I'm going for that $58,000 that I financed. I'm going to end up paying $102,142.61. That's like double the payment. So let's try to do something that's hopefully more realistic. Let's look up an interest rate that's like 7%. Okay. Now that will change for us. Our monthly payment will be $1,148.47. And the total interest we will pay will be $10,908.17, which is a lot lower. So this is telling you the higher the interest rate, the more money the people gonna make off of you. Okay. So I would suggest that you go to Google, look up a car loan calculator, and plug in some numbers that you know to be true to see if you can afford that monthly payment. Granted, I didn't factor in taxes and fees for whatever state you live in because I don't know where you live. So you have to figure that out as well. And of course, there may be some other fees associated with buying the car. And you know, you gotta pay your registration, you gotta pay for your tag, all that good stuff. But it can give you a rough estimate about how much you'll be paying per month to see if you can afford it. Once you find out how much you can afford, here's a suggestion. Before you go buy that car, say that I figured out I can afford $1,000 a month for a car payment. What I'm going to do is test that theory out. For the next 3 to 4 months, I'm going to take $1,000 out of my paycheck and put it in a high yield savings account. Now, I do have a video, you can look it up right here on my channel, about a high yield savings account. Now, when you put your money in that high yield savings account, it's going to be a different account than that's attached to your checkings account, so you can kind of like forget about it, right? That $1,000 is going to sit over there for the next 3 to 4 months and make you money. For high yield savings account, they pay you to keep your money in that account. The more money you have in the account, the more money they will pay you for it. So when you look up high yield savings account, you want to look up high yield savings account that have a higher interest rate. But if you want to learn more about high yield savings account, check out this video right here. So now, after I put that money in that account for the next 3 to 4 months, I'm going to look back and say, how I'm feeling. Do I feel like I'm drowning, I'm barely paying my bills, or everything's everything? And if everything is everything, then maybe it's time for you to move forward with buying that car. But now you have a cushion over there in that high yield savings account. That 3 to 4 months, so that's like $4,000 that you put over there in that high yield savings account. You're not going to touch it. Because what if one day you have to do something and now you don't have that money for your car note? You can go get it out your high yield savings account to save yourself. So then you won't be looking at like, ooh, what a repo man there. I got to hide the car in the garage or hide it somewhere else. You do not want those type of problems. So now I know that I can afford to buy this car and I want to go to a dealership. When you go to that dealership, we already talked about making sure that you get the best interest rate for your car note. So the dealership is going to give you an interest rate, check with your bank, check with your credit union. But the question you don't want to answer, they're going to ask you when you get there, so what are you thinking about? What do you want your monthly payment to be? Do not answer that. Because they're trying to play a little game with you. If you tell them you want your monthly payment to be $1,000, they'll go get you a $98,000 car and make sure that your payment is $1,000. And you be paying that for the next, I don't know how many years. And they'll make so much money on top of you, it'll make your stomach hurt. Instead, just tell them, I'm exploring my options. I'm not sure yet. What you want to focus on is that total amount that car is priced. Because you've already put it in your car loan calculator and you know how much you can afford. Don't let them trick you out of some money. Also, just make sure you're not buying a car during tax season. Because they raise the prices because they know people getting their tax refund, so they know they can afford more. Don't buy during tax season. Okay. If you don't want to buy your car from a car dealership, maybe you don't want to deal with people, because I know I don't. You can use places like Carvana and wherever else you can buy a car from online. Just make sure you have your budget in mind and what you can afford. Because on Carvana, you can get on there, you can see the price of the car, and then they let you do this little thing where you can change the amount for your car or how much you want to pay per month. just make sure that you already know that number so you won't get confused or end up buying something you can't afford. Because if you mess around and fall in love with a car and don't have a budget, all your logic are gonna go out the window. You're gonna be thinking, I gotta have this car. It's gonna be my dream car. I gotta get into it. But then you can't afford it. So there's the problem. So keep your budget in mind. At the end of the day, a car should make your life easier, not harder. And when you have a plan, you have options. You avoid being pressured into a car note that you can't afford. And you don't rush and make dumb decisions. And most importantly, you keep your money working for you and not against you. So let me know in the comments, would you rather have a really nice car or financial peace? At the end of the day, the decision is in your hand, what you decide to do. But the more money you have, the more options you have. Don't forget that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Share this with anybody that's trying to buy a car or just need to know the information. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and come on over to the university. We'll love to have you. And you already know, until next time, peace out.